Hi there, I'm Kelly Gable, and I am the owner and creator of the Tech Savvy Academy. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Trello My Business Command Center template. This is the how-to video. So I'm going to give you a quick little walkthrough of how it's intended to be used. And of course, there's always room for customization because every business is a little bit different. And you might work a little bit differently than the way I was approaching this when I created it. So this is a great jumping off point and something for you to use as the first thing you log into in the morning or at the beginning of your business day. So we're going to go ahead and jump straight over to the board. All right, so here is the command center, and you should already be on this page. That's where you found this link, right? So let's just dive right into what you can do here. So you can see, obviously, this first list is one that you will be able to kind of move off to the right once you've watched the video and checked out all of the images with the rules and all of that. So it's out of your way, but I do suggest you keep it here just in case you need to refer back to anything. So we'll touch on that in a second, but let's start right here with list number 2, which will be your list number 1. And this is your current priorities. So this is essentially going to be your project or projects that you're working on in your business. I do recommend you keep this not too long because realistically, there's only so many projects we can devote our attention to at any given moment. So making this list super long is just going to make it feel a little overwhelming, and you probably won't actually accomplish as much in that way. But like you can see here, this example that I've given is to develop a new online course. So that would be a very high level goal, a larger project that you're working on for your business. And then within that card, you'd be able to come in here, add a checklist and say like your to-do list, right? And then this is where you would put the list of the subtasks, the smaller things that you need to do in order to accomplish this higher level goal, right? So that's what this is intended to be used for. This next list is called tasks, and it's pretty clear as far as, these are the different types of recurring tasks that we do in our business, things we do every day, things we do once a week or every other week, or even potentially every month. These are things that over time you might find ways to automate, or if you want to do that, maybe reach out to me because I have been working to create ways to automate some of this already, and maybe that would be a good fit for you as well. But essentially, this is meant to be a place where under each individual category, so daily, weekly, you will either repurpose or you create your own cards for the tasks that you do regularly. And then using the automations that we will come back and take a look at here that are native to Trello, but you will need to do a little setup to get them rolling, will help to keep you on track and remind you each day at the time that you want to do those things. So they will automatically reset themselves to the next day or the next, whatever frequency it is, week, month, right? When you complete the task on the board. So really you can have as many tasks here as you want. There's no limit there, but I would caution you the same way as I would over here. If you're finding yourself having a whole lot of daily tasks in particular, there's probably opportunity for automation there that will make your life so much easier and give you the ability to really focus on the parts of your business that require your personal attention, right? So this is a great place to get started to help yourself stay on track, but it's also a great place to revisit time and time again to see, how much of my time am I spending doing these little tasks, and are they actually income producing for me in my business, right? It's a great place to kind of reflect on how you're using your time. Okay, so the next list here is appointments. And this is one where if you have regular appointments, like you can see here, accountability sessions, those often happen weekly. If you're a part of a mastermind, anything like that you do on a regular basis, whether you're leading it or you're just a part of it, this would be a great place for you to keep track of that for your calendar. We'll look at the calendar power up in a minute to see how this all kind of comes into play. But yeah, so this is a great place for that. And then if you do have clients booking with you on a regular basis, depending on how you're doing that, so whether you're using something like Calendly or Acuity Scheduler, you might be able to create an automation, which would be free, through using a platform like Zapier, so that when somebody creates an appointment with you, it'll automatically show up here on this list with the appropriate date on it as well, so that you can keep your business calendar for the week all in one place, which comes in super handy. This next list is really intended to be helpful for you when you are on the go. So I don't know about you guys, but I find that when I'm out and about and I just, hop on Facebook real quick or Instagram or something like that, and I see the perfect opportunity to promote something of mine, whether it's, a blog I wrote or an opt-in that I'm trying to push out there right now, or even a workshop that I'm running. And the worst thing is when you don't have the link handy on your phone. And while there are many ways to do that and to keep it somewhere, you can keep it in like the notes on your phone and stuff like that. But this is a great place to just have all of those links. So you can put them here within the checklists, and then they're easy copy paste when you need to use them on the go. And then same thing for files, like frequent things that you use regularly, whether it's, a picture of your logo that you need to throw into something on a regular basis, or, maybe you're jumping into a bunch of new Facebook groups and you like to post like an intro post so people get to know who you are, and there may be a business photo that you use regularly. Having all of that here, it's super handy when you're home, but it's even more handy when you're out and about. So I would definitely recommend doing that. And then we've got the brain dump list. And this one is super, super helpful in managing our current priorities. Okay. So like I said, you don't want to have too much stuff on here because realistically, you're not working on all of them right now, right? So this is where the brain dump comes in handy, because we all know that ideas just pop into our minds at any given moment, sometimes in the most inopportune moments. You don't want to forget what you were thinking about doing so that you can come back to it later when you have time to focus. So this is a great place to create cards, to put those ideas down somewhere so that you're able to then go through and prioritize them on a weekly, monthly basis, whatever works for you, and move them over to the current priorities list. Or if you decide, I still really like this idea, but it feels way too big for this year or this quarter, then you can go ahead and just pop them over to the items or projects on hold. That way you don't lose any of the information or anything that you thought about, but it's not kind of in your face and stopping you from being able to focus on what you are prioritizing right now. Okay. And then this last list is pretty self-explanatory. It's just the projects you've completed. So when you do finish something that is on your current priorities list, you can either manually move it over or set up an automation so that when you complete the deadline date, it will automatically push it over to that list. Okay, so talking about that real quick. So these are some of the rules that are set up on this template board. So unfortunately, when you copy a template into your own board, it does not copy over the automation rules. But that's why I've put these here, so that they're easy for you to find and you're able to replicate them in your own way as you need them. So these are all here. These are the ones that are being used on this board in particular. Like I said, to keep the due dates updating based on the frequency that you're working with, and so that you can have pop-up reminders on your phone or your computer, whatever you're doing, to help you make sure to remember to do those as you're building the habit of adding that into your day-to-day or month-to-month. And you'll see there's also one more list of rules here that we put on this board as well. So you can see here, these are actually the buttons that are on each card, so that if you don't do them super regularly or they're brand new, you might just have created like the little buttons here so that you can easily repeat something, or on a monthly, daily, or weekly basis. Okay, so if you are unfamiliar with automations, let's just look at one of those real quick, just to give you an idea. So we'll go in and create a new rule. ignore that. Okay, so I'm going to create a rule right now. This is how you would do it. You'd come in and go to create rules, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit add trigger. And this is one that we're going to kick off manually. So there are some that you can set to automatically do something based off the date or when it hits your due date. But for this in particular, we're going to keep a little bit of the manual aspect in there that you have to go in and push the button saying you've completed a task, so that when as you're building this habit, you make sure that you don't accidentally forget to do something or have it automatically update, implying that you finished it when you didn't. There's that manual checking off of the to-do list that we're going to use here, because it's going to come in handy for the mindset side of managing your business. Okay, so we're going to talk about dates here, or actually no, we are. So we're going to hit dates here, and we're going to say when a due date is marked complete, and your options here are complete or incomplete, but we're going to mark it complete. And you can filter to a specific card based off of which list it's on. So for example, we'll say in list tasks. And then you also have the ability, if you're sharing this board with an assistant or something of that nature, you can also say who checked it off as complete. But if this is just your board and nobody else is using it, you don't need to do that. Okay. And then we're going to hit the plus sign here. And you can see up here, we've got the triggers when the due date is marked complete in a list or in the list tasks. And then we're going to choose an action of what we want to have happen. So at this point, we are going to be pushing the date out based off of the cadence. So for this particular case, let's say that it is a daily task. Okay. So then we're going to say at that point, we're going to move the due date. And we're going to say to tomorrow. We're going to hit the plus sign here. And then we're going to hit this plus sign. And you can see the action has popped up right here. We're going to move the due date tomorrow. But there's one piece here that I think people sometimes forget to do. So looking at this, how it is, what we've said here is when you go in and manually mark the due date to complete, we want to move the due date to tomorrow. But if you forget to also have it automatically incomplete or uncheck the due date, then you will stop any future reminders from triggering for you. So you always want to make sure when you do something like this, where you push it out a day, that you also come in here and say, oh, and also please make the task or the due date incomplete, so that tomorrow it registers as a new task that you need to complete, right? We go ahead and hit save. We get our confetti, which is super exciting. And now it's working on the board. So as an example, now, obviously this template was created a while ago, but if I come into my 5 repins board and I click this due date, what we should see happen is it's not going to do it to the next day. So it won't be May 18th. It's going to do it for literally tomorrow from the day I'm recording this, which is in October. So what you should see is I will check this off. It might take a second. It'll move the due date to October 11th, and then it will uncheck the due date box. Okay, so let's just do that real quick so you can see how it works. See, it's complete tomorrow and it's unchecked. And now tomorrow I will get a notification from this one saying, hey, don't forget to do your 5 repins. Okay, does that make sense? So if you have any questions as you're rebuilding these board rules or trying to customize this for your own business, feel free to reach out to me. When you make your copy of this board, you're welcome to invite me to your board if you'd like, and then you'd be able to communicate with me there if you want to. Or you will also start getting emails from me, so you can always reach out to me there as well if you have any questions or even suggestions for this board. If there's something that you create, something that you do with this that you think is really cool that other people might appreciate and be able to use in their command center, let me know, and I'll go in and take a look and see if it makes sense to add it for the template. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this template is super helpful for all of you, and that it helps to just make your life and your business a little bit easier, a little bit less overwhelming, and for you to feel more empowered to handle these tech things in your business. Again, my name is Kelly Gable. I'm the owner of the Tech Savvy Academy. And you are also welcome to join me over in my Facebook group, free Facebook group, and I will go ahead and pop that link into the board here so that in the board with the girl who's pointing down, so that you can go click that link and join us in there if you'd like. We do monthly training based off of lots of different topics that are important for just the technology of being an entrepreneur or solopreneur. So I hope to see you in there and get to know you better. And I hope that this board really helps to make your life easier.